Create with Fran Sidney. Create the life you want. Hello everyone, welcome to my show. Today we are on episode 45 and the topic is going to be rather interesting because it's going to power you through your goals by looking at the way you think about it. So let's have a look. So I will start by saying that if you think about it, when we have maybe a job interview or fail in something that we really wanted to achieve or whatever, so when we have events in our life, sometimes we almost prophesy what's going to happen. How is that possible? Could it be that we are jinxing ourselves, as my daughter always says? Yes, this is absolutely true. If we think positive, we're gonna have different results compared to those times in which we were thinking negatively. This will affect everything around us. That's not magic, that's how our brain works. Let's dive in. As you know, every day as we go about our daily lives, we have lots of things that happen, lots of events. And these are all recorded, they enter in our nervous system, they go through our personal filter, so each of us has an experience that is different from how the other people are experiencing that event. So we have a different set of filters. And these filters allow us to make a picture of what's going on. We have an image, okay? In neuro-linguistic programming or N.L.P, this is called the internal representation. So the representation of a reality is different. What I see as reality is not the same as my daughter or my son or my friends. Everyone has his own internal bias, as I said in the previous episode. So what you perceive or I perceive is based on our sense, our experiences, our ideas, our perception. It's very, very different from one person to the other. And so it's very important to know that we all had positive moods, for example, motivation, determination, or being happy. We've also experienced very unhelpful moods, for example, anger, or being fearful about something, or feeling really, really sad about something. So this has a very measurable effect on our brain and on our body. And when we are feeling motivated, when we are feeling powerful, we go into a situation and we are much more likely to have a good result because of our attitude. So that's very amazing to know that our expectations can completely change the outcome. If you think about it, when you are very excited about something that is going to happen, perhaps you're going for a nice trip into the countryside and you're looking forward to it, everyone will be able to tell how excited you are because your eyes will be shining, you're going to have like a straight posture, your tone of voice is going to be more agitated in a good way, and you're just going to be smiling and moving fast and just standing upright and happy, right? But let's say that you're going to the same countryside walk and it's actually pouring down with rain and it's really cold and you do not have appropriate gear to really enjoy this outing. And actually you have a few niggling pains because you have done too much work in the last week in your yard and now you're very sore. Maybe you've done too much work out in the gym. So you're not really looking forward to going to this countryside walk in the rain. Then when you talk about it, people will notice that maybe your shoulders will be more slumped, your eyes will not be shining, your voice will be different. And it is also possible that unless you do something to correct your expectation, you might really hate the trip to the countryside because you expected the trip to go absolutely wrong. Because you know you don't have a gear, it's not very comfortable weather, and you were expecting good weather. Unless you were in England, then you just kind of think that's gonna be like that. So let's get on with it, right? So there is this really important link in between what we are thinking, what our mood is, what our body is doing, and the result that we are going to have in the end. And so how you feel inside can be noticed by ourselves and by other people. So of course, a person that is very sad and depressed is not going to look like and feel like a person that is totally happy, maybe just won the lottery or just got a really big promotion. No, of course, we look different, we feel different. And this difference is very important because we have to use our brain in a way that is smart. Because see, our brain cannot tell the difference between reality and internal representation. It doesn't know if we are joking or not. The brain just knows that we are thinking about something, and it will react by giving us physical reactions and consequences that will make us look different and feel different. So very quickly, let's go and do an exercise that will help you to see how differently you will feel, look, and perceive reality depending on your thoughts. Okay, so now we are ready. Let's do this exercise. All you need to do is to perhaps sit down so that you can concentrate on this. Please do not do this exercise while you're washing the dishes or talking to friends or running, because it's not really going to work. You need a little bit of focus, and maybe give me a couple of minutes to do this fun exercise. This is an N.L.P exercise. So I want you to, for a minute, to imagine that you are, I don't know, maybe you are just about to meet your boss, and after 1 year working with this company, he's gonna tell you how things are going. He's gonna give you an appraisal. Okay, let's pretend that this job is very, very important for you. You really need that money, and that's your first time you got a really, really good job, so you absolutely need to keep the job. And the boss is gonna just tell you how things have gone in the last 12 months. Okay, if you are not familiar with perhaps the environment of being in an office and having appraisals and managers, etc., just think about a relationship. Think about you being dating somebody for 12 months and things have been going well. That's the first time you have a really good relationship. And this person, woman or man, is going to come to you because this person said, I want to talk to you about our relationship today. And you are ready to meet them. And you are also knowing that this person is very important to you. And it would be a really big shame if a person was not happy with the relationship. So you can use the relationship idea or you can use the job idea, whichever works better for your situation or your environment. Okay, now that you have decided if you want to work on the job appraisal or on meeting up your current person that you are going out with, I want you to focus on in the inside part of yourself. I want you to think that you are really, really concerned that you will get a really badly, seriously negative appraisal from a boss. Okay? Now I want you to be really anxious and start telling yourself, no, this job is, I haven't done well, I've done a lot of mistakes, and the boss is gonna remind me of every single mistake. This is terrible. Tell yourself for a couple of minutes, I'm absolutely terrible at my job. Think about how worried you are about this job. Think about how anxious you are, because if the boss terminates you, you are not going to be able to pay your bills. Not only that, now I want you to go really deep inside yourself and think, wow, I haven't slept for 3 days. I've been tossing and turning in my bed because I'm so worried about what my boss is going to say. And I'm very much under pressure. I want to see a good result, but I cannot think for 1 minute that the boss will have anything positive to say about me. He's probably going to announce that he has found a replacement and I'm just going to be out of the door. How am I going to pay the bills? So I want you to really think that you are this person, and I want you to hold this internal representation inside your mind and associate the picture of yourself with the boss. The boss is looking very serious, and think about the feelings that you're having. You're feeling that you're not good enough, What are the sounds that you can hear? Is he writing a check? Your final check? What are your thoughts? Oh no, how am I gonna go on holiday this year? I can't afford even to pay my bills. Think about all these bad things that can happen. Or if you want to do the other example, think about your date, your partner or person that you love is coming to the room, and just before this person comes, I want you to really think that you are really anxious because you've noticed recently that your partner was thinking quite a lot and has been telling you, we need to have a chat. I really want to have a chat about ourselves and our relationship and where we're going from there. And I want you to really think that you're really anxious. You cannot even imagine being without this person because this person has been part of your life for 12 months. And you would really, really miss dating this person. You're used to go out with them, so now you're absolutely anxious, and every night you are awake and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do if this person goes away? I'm gonna be single again. Oh, it's gonna be dreadful. And I want you to really think how bad it's going to be when this person walks into the room and tells you, it's over, I have another person, we're just not fit to be together. So I want you to think of every picture, every feeling, every sound, every scent, everything that comes in the scene. What is the person wearing? What are you doing with your hands? What are you doing with your eyes, with your head? And think very, very, very much. What are your thoughts, your mood, your body posture, your behavior, and your result? So whether you are waiting for the boss to come or waiting for your partner to come, what are your thoughts when you're thinking that everything is going to go badly? Take a note. What is going to happen? How are you feeling? And then take a minute to write down and describe your mood. Maybe you have anxiety, maybe you feel the nerves. And now I want you to think about your body posture. Are you basically leaning over? Are you standing straight or not? And what about your general behavior? Are you able to talk fluently and quietly? Or are you feeling nervous? Is your behavior calm and reassuring, or is very erratic? And finally, I want you to look at the results. The person comes in to give you bad news, and what is going to happen to you? How are you going to feel after you've been dreading this and the person comes in to confirm your worst possible outcome? Write it all down. Okay, so after writing all this down, I want you to imagine that all the scenes that you had in your mind were just on a television screen, and I want you to just change the channel, clear this screen, make it black completely, and put away this awful image of you failing in your job or failing in a relationship. And now I want you to flip the whole situation. I want you to think that you are actually really, really confident. And then when your boss comes in, you're extremely confident that you had good results, that you have had success, and that the boss is actually going to offer you to go one step higher. It's going to give you an extra project to work on because he's quite sure he wants to promote you to the next level. This is what you're thinking. You're thinking this is going to go really well. You're absolutely convinced that the meeting will go brilliantly well. You're absolutely sure that the boss is going to say, well done. I'm just so glad that you're working for us because I have something special for you. If you are focusing on the partner or date situation, imagine that this person is about to come in and you think that you're absolutely confident that this person adores you and wants to spend more time with you and just want to develop and progress in their relationship. They're absolutely happy with you in every way. So now I want you to hold this brilliant image in your head and associate to this image all the pictures, all the feelings and the sound and the thoughts, and I want you to write it down. Write down what are your thoughts when you're thinking that the boss meeting or your date meeting is going to go brilliantly well. What will you tell yourself? For example, you might say, I've done really well. I'm sure my boss is very, very pleased with me. He's going to give me a pay rise. Or my partner is very pleased. He just wants to book a nice little holiday on a nice desert island, somewhere in a sunny place, perfect after the lockdown. And we're just gonna have such a great time. That's what he wants to do. That's what she wants to do. She's so excited to see me. I know she's very happy to keep dating me. Next, I want you to think about your mood. Remember, everything is going well. You know that your job was phenomenal, or your relationship is doing phenomenally well. So your mood, how is your mood when you're expecting to meet this person? Can you imagine how is your mood and where you're going to meet? Are you going to meet in a happy place or in a sad place? Are you feeling relaxed, calm, confident and positive, or are you feeling dreadful? Write it down. And then I want you to think about your body posture. Your boss is about to come inside the room to talk to you, and you know that you are very proud of all your results. Your date is coming in and you know that our relationship is doing well, so he or she has nothing to worry about. And you know this person is coming in. What is your body posture like? Are you relaxed? Have you got an open body language? Are you holding yourself high? Are you looking welcoming? And now I want you to think about your behavior as this person comes in, whether it's your boss or your loved one. When the person is there, how are you showing your confidence? How are you showing your happiness, your assurance that everything is good? And anything else that comes to your mind that has to do with your behavior, because you know that everything is going to be well. And then finally think about the results. In the other exercise, nothing but negative results. But in this exercise, you're expecting positive results. What is going on? How is the boss feeling after he comes in and talks to you? How is your date feeling after he meets you? Very happy, joyful, calm, reassuring. How is the other person feeling? And how are the results? Okay, so this was a very simple exercise to do. And the purpose of the exercise was to notice which one is the internal image that is more likely to get you that praise from your boss. Which one is more likely to get a wonderful conversation with a person that you love? So of course, I'm just assuming that you've done well in your job and in your relationship, and the person is coming to give you good news. But some people cannot see anything good. They always focus on what can possibly go wrong. And then they start having thoughts about what can possibly go wrong, and then they create this. In fact, very, very often, we self-sabotage ourselves. Can you believe so? We think so much of a negative possible things that can happen before the event has actually happened. So before the boss has opened his mouth, you already think you're going to be demoted. Before your loved one even speaks, you think, that's it, he's got another person. And did you know that your body language gives about 55% of the impact of a face-to-face communication? So before you even say one word, a person just looks at you and he or she knows how you're feeling. And so even if you say the right words, if your body language is saying something different, this will be this just kind of incongruent, just something that is not quite right. And so it's very difficult to get results if you're saying one thing and feeling in a different way. So I'm quite sure by now you realize that you are more likely to get a good result if you are already in a positive state of mind. That whatever happens, you are just going to be perfect. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this exercise. I would like you now to take you a further step ahead and connect whatever we mentioned. I want you to connect that with the podcast episode that was about the reticular activating system, which is maybe about 2 episodes ago, the RAS. And I want you to think and remember that your RAS will focus on whatever you are focusing on. So remember to pay attention to your goals. If you focus on something negative, you are going to get it. So do you remember what happens if you have a little child around and he's touching everything in your house, and you have a very beautiful, clean, spotless house with fragile things, and you say, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. And the little child keeps touching. All he can hear is touch, touch, touch. But if you say, put your hands in your pockets, darling, because that room is full of fragile crystals, then he might be more careful. So always careful, because when we say don't, our mind doesn't really pick it up. I remember reading about some teachers who did an experiment. They went to a class and did a normal lesson, and during the lesson they kept saying to the students, don't move, don't wave your arms, don't panic if you forget what to say, all things like don't. And then the next day they went to give different feedback, and instead of doing don't, they kept saying stand still, keep your arms at your side, keep calm if you forget what to do next. So that was a good thing, because it makes you really understand that the brain likes hearing that information in a positive way. And if you say don't, sometimes it's just very confusing. We keep doing it. What's going on? And this has been quoted in many little articles I read in the past. It was quite a nice little story. Your RAS will always focus on what you are focused on. So if you are trying not to be fat, or not to smoke, or not to fail, it might be that all you remember in your brain is fat, smoke, fail. So instead, if you start thinking about something that you want to achieve, that's what the RAS is going to look for. So if you focus on what you don't want, your RAS will be very obedient and will give it to you. But when you think of what you want, so you are calling these things into your life, because you're just making a prophecy that is self-fulfilled, because you're creating it in your brain, which is creating electric circuit, which is creating a real synapses, something that for your brain is true. Because you think this is true, you just feel in your body, you show in your posture and in your behavior, in your words and in your tone, that you are confident. And this makes a huge difference later on when you're actually going to create the action. So, what is the conclusion? That means that we always get what we focus on, because the energy will flow in that on which we have the most attention. The brain creates real electric events that we then see materializing in the form of neurons connecting to one another, which then create a physical sensation in our body. So, for example, you can focus on a movie when you see a very exciting scene of somebody maybe flying in a very fast airplane. You think that's amazing and exhilarating. The body will believe that this is absolutely true, and you will feel the heart racing faster. You will be excited as you watch it. And if suddenly there is a crash and the airplane crashes in the movie, you will have a result in your body. You will have different feelings. And yet you know that this is not happening to you. It's happening to somebody else. Maybe it's a movie. Maybe it's not even true. You still have a physical effect. Isn't that amazing? So how can you use this in your life? What I want you to do is to always think, when you have a situation when you want to have a good result, and who doesn't, then start thinking as if this has already happened. Work towards it. Work out all your goals. We done the goals podcast episode in the end of the year and in January. So you can go back and review those episodes, so don't repeat myself. So look back and think, what is that I really want from life? What do I want to achieve this year? In my relationships, in my work, in the relationship with my kids, with my parents, or with my co-workers, or what do I want to achieve with my hobbies, with my passions? I don't know what your goal is. But start thinking as if you've already achieved this goal. What have you done to achieve it? One of the big things is how you're going to feel in the end. How is it going to feel if you achieved that person who was going to go inside your room and telling you you have a promotion? It's going to make your life completely different. How are you going to feel in a year if your promotion is giving you more money, more success, a bigger office, a career that is maybe even more interesting than before? You're going to feel great. And so start feeling great now. Start working now as if this is going to surely happen. And the same thing you can apply to relationship. If you go around disparaging yourself and expecting every minute that the other person will fail you, will leave you, will be with somebody else, will find you unattractive, you are not going to be attractive to this person for very long, because this person will be your Red Cross nurse who will always be trying to say, no, don't worry, we're okay. And it can be very tiring to be always doing that. So remember, in closing these episodes, that what you think, you create. So be confident. I don't always think that the person, they've been together for 12 months, now they're going to be fed up, they're going to be with somebody else. Well, you know what? If you keep thinking like that, that is going to happen. If you think that every relationship is going to fail, this will happen because you are creating this in your mind and you're acting as a failure. You're saying, well, I'm with you, but you know that at some point we're going to have to split up because this is not going to work out. And exactly in the same way, if you go to work and you are not acting as if you're going to keep the job, you're going to do your best, you're going to climb in the company and go to the higher position, you're not going to act properly. You're going to act always with such an intention and focus that is not on success, because you're thinking, well, I'm sure that somebody better than me will come to the office, is going to be younger, more good looking, with 500 degrees, 500 languages, they're going to be better than me, and you are not going to have a confidence. And then your boss will notice that. People will notice to have a confidence, and therefore your results will not be as good as if you were confident about them. So remember, your thoughts have a huge power. So start now to look at your thoughts from outside, visualize yourself being very, very positive and successful. Then act like it. Take the appropriate action, reach your goal, and be happy. Okay, guys, that's half an hour of podcast. So thank you so much for being with me today. I hope that you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you will like and share and maybe write a good review for me so that more people can find how to use N.L.P, coaching, or maybe hypnosis, and just very simple mind hacks to improve their life. So thank you so much for being with me, and if you want more information or if you want a session with me, go to fransydney.com, or even go to Facebook and just put my name and surname and I will just pop out. So thank you so much and have a great day. Bye bye. You have listened to Create with Fran Sydney.